First off, I want to thank Coach Moore and his whole staff for coming down. Those players fought to the end. I think they were a really good group, one of the tougher defensive line groups that we played against. I mean, he has those guys playing extremely hard. All week we told our guys this was the biggest game of the year for us. So I'm thankful that we were able to come out with a win because we knew they were tough. We knew they would play all the way through the fourth quarter. And I knew it would be a fourth quarter game, so it's just what we talked about the entire week. And we didn't take it lightly, and I'm happy that we didn't because if we would have took it lightly at all, I would not be sitting here getting ready to get washed. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good deal.
Questions? Start with Chris and then Dan.
Fran, Kyle obviously set the single-season passing yards mark for Syracuse. Just how rewarding has it been for you to be like part of his season?
I'm very thankful for him, his family, just the way that he carries himself every day. Happy to be around a quarterback because now I have I got a standard of what the quarterback needs to look like being here. Not necessarily statistically and all those things because that's hard, but just in reference to how you prep, game preparation, how to prepare. You know, I think he eliminates the process of not doing well because he prepares himself so much. And I'm just very thankful for him. Thankful for our friendship, honestly. We have a good friendship. We actually sit down and talk every Tuesday for about an hour almost. Just more about life and things of that nature. Then we kind of go into football towards the end of it. But he's a fine young man, and I'm very thankful that he got to be a part of my family and I'm a part of his.
Dan, then Mario back.
Coach, congrats on the win.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Of course. When you look at, to go a little bit deeper into Kyle McCord as the man, not just the football player, what you saw in him in the transfer portal that has come through and he's really lived by, and then secondly, what you can say to the receivers, 3 guys that got over 100 yards in this game.
I mean, this is who he's been since he was younger. I thought his family did an amazing job of just making sure he's always got the best education. So if you looked at where he went to elementary school, middle school, then he went to high school, they picked education first. And then they picked their faith because he was always in private schools to make sure he followed their faith. And then just him going to school. You know, he's always had a high standard for himself. So me having the opportunity of being able to get him because I knew him and having the opportunity of him coming to play for me, I thought it was a big deal, you know. I was more so worried about how good he was and was I going to be a good enough coach to coach the kid, you know, make sure that I could relate to him the right way and do those things because I knew he was a good football player. Not that I'm afraid to coach any players. I've coached a lot of guys, went first round, things of that nature. But I just knew who he was and I understood who he was. And I just wanted to make sure that we would fit, you know, because a lot of times coaches don't fit with players. So I was just wanted to make sure that we fit. That was something that I was worried about a little bit. Just us being able to fit and gel together and being able to communicate with each other and just being able to talk to each other about anything. It meant a lot because the quarterback is number 2 in the organization. So it was important that fit for us.
And just what you can say about those receivers that got to 100 yards.
Oh, they do that all week, except when they go against us. We be talking trash to them. But they do that all week. I'm really thankful and happy for Gil. You know, he's came a long way, and he's been doing, you've seen little spurts of it all year. So today, you know, he had a chance of, I think he had like 170-some yards. Meeks had 100-some yards, and I was busting those G-chops in there. I said, oh, you only had 100-some yards again. That's just what you do. But they all had over 100 yards, which is good. Kyle's done that several times. So, I mean, it shows you that our offense, though, and what Jeff Nixon does is gives us an opportunity to spread it around where everybody have a chance to, you know, touch the ball.
Mario and Maddie.
I know your football team has over 100 players, but coming into the year, you had guys like Aronde, Marlowe Wax, Justin Barron that had decisions to make, to come back or leave this program. And, you know, Marlowe said this week that he wanted to stay here because he wanted to leave a winner.
Yeah.
You know, how satisfying is that these guys stayed here and you have 8 wins on the season for just the 3rd time since 2000?
I'm very happy for them. I told them that this game was the biggest game of the year because this helped show that we're building a program again. And it shows that they did it. Like, that goes down with them for the rest of their lives. Like, those guys had an opportunity of building a program. So it meant a lot. I think last year, Donovan McNabb was here. We went back and checked it. It was 8-4. You know, no disrespect to any other quarterback, but just looking at Coach McNabb, and I knew, like, okay, we got to be able to go above that because, like, McNabb came, talked to us, and he told us he wanted us to be better than it was when he was here, and he put some standards out there for us, him and Keith Bullock, of what they were looking for, what we was at. So, you know, we had I mean, they told us what we had to do. So, you know what I mean, being able to push that way. So it means a lot that these guys are the guys that stayed, that trusted in myself, that trusted in our administration. You know, it was a lot of trust that had to go all ways. And I think trust is earned. So everybody keeps doing what they say they're going to do. And then you end up being 8-3 right now, getting ready to go and play against Miami, which is a good game. Coach Saban, I'm going to need you to talk to those people at game day and have them come. Des, me and you are cool. We know everybody, so I need you guys to push for y'all guys to come and be here for the Syracuse and Miami game. It will be no better place to be next week, you know. So I can't wait till those guys hopefully accept the challenge to doing that. Thanks. It's a good question that you asked me.
Maddie, then Cooper.
Coach, over here in the back. Davian Kerr had another great game. He had 7 total tackles today. I saw you coaching him almost on the sidelines, on the Syracuse sidelines. What have you kind of seen from him, and maybe what were you telling him? I saw you kind of say, like, breathe, settle down.
Yeah, it was just telling him relax. It's like, no, this football. They're going to get something. They're on scholarship, too. That kid could play ball. Like, you'll be fine. And I only got mad at one play. He looked in the backfield, and that wasn't his job. His job was to stare at the tight end, and they ended up catching a touchdown pass. But outside of that, those passes they caught, they went back and forth both ways. It's part of the game. Just lock in. But I coach him pretty hard, just telling him things that we want to get done and relax. I could see him getting frustrated, so I would curse him out. Then I would say, all right, come here. You know, just make sure you keep going back and forth so that way he knows. But he's competitive. We brought him here in the summer. He was going to prep school. He was a wide receiver in camp. We said, no, don't come. Don't go to prep school. Stay here. Leave your twin. Come here with us for a semester. We'll bring him next semester. If I'm able to even talk about his brother, I'm sorry. But then he comes here as a safety and then plays safety the entire time he's been here. And then all of a sudden, 3 weeks ago, I moved him to corner because of injury and things. And I just liked his movement the whole time. He's one of the faster guys on the team. He ran a 4.51 on the laser. So I was just like, oh, this kid, I'm going to start him next week. All the coaches thought I was playing. I was like, no, he's going to start. And he's just been going in, and he's tough, man. His mom and dad did an amazing job. Comes from a tough family. So, I can't wait to see him grow. Can't wait to see him play next week, to be honest.
Cooper, then Christian.
Coach, just what have you seen from Daryl Gill's development and journey throughout the season that led to him having such a big day today?
He just listens to Coach Ross. I think Coach Douglas does a good job with those guys. He understands the offense, so whatever Coach Nixon calls, he's able to go to any position. He can play X, he can play slot, and he can also play Z, so that helps him a lot. He's just a tough kid. I mean, if you meet his mom, then you understand why he's going to continue to persevere and keep pushing and growing. But he comes from a good family, and he's a tough kid, and I'm very thankful for him. But he just listens. He does everything. He's never on lists. Name isn't on late being to class, not making his weight, not doing all the things that are required that don't require talent. He does them. So he gets an A in that, which is the reason why when it's time for football, he's able to excel in football.
Christian, then Kay.
Coach, you mentioned Davian Kerr, and he's one of a number of players who is a little bit lower on the depth chart at the beginning of the season. How impressed are you now, later into the season, of the depth that's showing up and seeing the next man mentality and some of the other players on your team?
That's what November's about. We got our own little saying about November that we read every day. A different guy read a different paragraph, but it's about being developed in November. You got to be detailed and developed, because at any point somebody's going to have to step up into a position to help the team. So it's important that coaches and players are able to adapt. We go through that and we talk about CCT and DART, but that's just our mindset in November. It's a November mindset that becomes contagious when you continue to think about it and talk about that. It's something that we look forward to just playing in November, because it's been stated by you guys that we wasn't going to have a good November and things like that. So I listen to all the things. I don't read it, but I have people that bring it to me. So when you guys say that we may not have a good November, it bothers me. So then we wanted to make sure we have a good November, and then we're going to remember who said that. So you can't be all cheering next time that we do have a good November. Right now, what's our record in November? We're not 2-2. We're 3-1. See, you might be one of those guys. That's all I'm talking about right there. We're 3-1 in November. Yeah, there we go.
Kay, then Ashley.
Coach, it was senior night. Being able to honor some of those guys who may return or who may be going on to further things in life. How has this senior class contributed to the younger class going forward, and what are you excited to see and how they, made their mark on these younger guys?
Well, they're their big brothers, and we said a family forever. We have something called Syracuse 60, which we made it in the beginning of the year where guys don't ever have to fear when football is done. And that's what's extremely important, and then what goes on in the world. When football is done, a lot of guys get depressed and go into different things. So within 60 days, because of all the alum, everybody all over the world, and so many people that got involved that are Syracuse alum that are involved, that we send resumes out. Our guys know and tell us what region they want to work in, what's their major. So a lot of guys already got jobs. So they kind of like can just go play and go be free, because of they understand and know. Like I told them, none of my players will ever graduate and in August not have a job or be on a team. If they do, then I'm not a real coach. I didn't finish my job to make sure that they were successful because I've been there, my wife's been there with me. When the season's done and you don't get that call yet, that August is painful. It's dreadful. It's you have no idea who you are, especially when guys like myself. I made football, I thought it was my identity. So I'm teaching them that this is not your identity. This is just what you play. It's things there. But no matter what, when you're passionate about the game and you love the game, it's tough when it's taken away. So I think that if we can compensate that with your degree, a job, a meaningful job that you went to school with, and you can make real money and you don't have to go back home, you feel like, okay, I'm ready for the world. Because the work we do, we're going to dominate when it's time to get in the world. It's just about the mindset.
Ashley, then Chris.
Coach, kind of a two-part question for you here. We saw Trevor Pena on the sidelines after the game. Just wondering if you have an update on his status. And then also, we saw you have a long embrace with the UConn head coach after the game. Just what was that conversation like?
Well, Trevor Pena, they didn't tell me that. It's just different things that's going on. He was straight. Probably could have finished. Probably not. I'm not sure. I'll find out from Brandon afterwards. But that's Jim Moore, coaching the NFL, all this stuff. I was just honored to meet him. It's different guys and he's always been a cool dude for me being younger, watching football and seeing him and his pops and things like that. And I wanted to introduce him to my son, let my son get the opportunity to meet a guy with just a great track record of being a good person, I thought he was going to be a lot taller, though. I was like, dang, he wasn't as tall as I thought. Because he didn't, in the NFL, a lot of those guys don't want to come see you before the game. They wait till afterwards. And so I was like, before the game, I was like, dang, where he at? I wanted to meet him. Like, he was a dude that I wanted to have an opportunity to meet, but he didn't come over before the game. But after the game, I was thankful that I got a chance to meet him and just wanted to tell him that I enjoy watching his team. I enjoyed watching him when I was younger and him coaching the NFL and his father. And then just I wanted him to meet my son. So it was cool for our family,
Last few for Coach. We'll start with Chris.
Frank Cinco didn't play. Was that injury related, and do you expect him back next week?
Yeah, he should be back. He was running and all before the game a little bit, jogging and stuff yesterday and all like that. But it was just a matter of you got to do what's best for the kid. It's not always what's best for him because it was up to me, everybody playing. But we had to do what was best for the kid.
And do you know anything about Amari at this point?
Say that again? Umari, his leg was hurt. Could be a sprained MCL or something like that. I'm not sure. His leg was hurt. It seemed like that when he was coming off, but it seemed okay. Yeah.
Last two, we'll start with Aiden.
Yeah, Coach, on the Trevor touchdown that got taken away, what was the explanation that you got there?
I forget. Oh, we did something wrong. I think Meeks did something wrong. I'm not sure. I forget. They were right. They were right about when they called that one. Yeah, they were right about that.
And then last question, we're going to finish right on the aisle here in the second to last row.
Hey, Coach, great win. Any status on Jayani Reed, the center? We saw him going into the locker room during, I believe, the first half, and he came off the field limping in the second half. Just
He's had a lingering ankle injury, and he's just constantly pushing for the team. But we think he'll be back. We just want to make sure to go get checked out and go through all that. But he's been fighting for us. He's a guy who, if we would have set him out a few weeks ago, if he would have just set out, he probably would have been okay by now, maybe, but maybe not. But he's just refused to sit out. He's a tough kid, and just wanted to go. Let me ask you a question. Have you bought your shirt yet? Yeah, have you bought your Winners Get Wild shirt yet?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, but y'all said y'all was getting one. If they win against Cal, then we'll probably get it. I'm going to have to get a shirt. And then we won, and all y'all still ain't get a shirt. So y'all don't tell the truth. That's why I like telling the truth. See y'all later.